Ciao guys, Revud here. So here in this video I want to talk to you about the support that I'm having, that I had with the Pimax 5K Plus. This is still the old unit, this doesn't work yet. We didn't find a solution, but I promised you that I was giving you an update on everything was happening. So here we are, let's talk about the Pimax support. Now, let's get to it. Okay, so to start, I want to thank everybody to helping me troubleshooting in the first video. And the comment below, there were a lot of people saying hey, try this one, and I really tried everything. So I'm really happy to have a community behind. We're trying to work together to have that fixed even before Pimax got to it. But unfortunately, nothing worked actually. Probably there was really an hardware issue. We had to go to the support directly, and that actually gave me the possibility to see how is the support directly from Pimax and what to expect. So this is actually my experience. Now, everything started with them contact me directly on the email. I didn't give them the email, I was contacting them on Twitter, so they probably got to who I was, and then they tried me directly. The person asked me what was the problem, and so we started our conversation. As I said in the first video, the things that were really interested in was actually the Becker number and the serial number, and I was a little, why is so important for you, why you keep asking me that? And well, actually then they told me directly on Reddit that was for understanding actually the batch of the production they were using, to understand the manufacturing that was behind it. But if you are around the number 350, pretty much the number circa, well, be aware that probably you could have the same problem, and if you have the same strap with the same stitches, probably you are in the same batch that I did, so just be aware. Keep an eye on it. If you have too much distortion, probably is not normal. We don't know yet because I didn't receive the new unit, so I can't compare yet, but well, that's something that is coming in my mind. Was my unit effective from the beginning? I don't know, we will see in the next videos for sure. For now, let's talk about the support. Let's get back a little. So after that, they contact me, they ask me for the batch number and everything, and they start to tell me hey, what is the problem, what's everything. I had also some dead pixel. I wasn't able to show them in picture, of course, because after that, all the pixels, they just went dead. So there were all that pixel. That was the situation. And so we started to try to troubleshoot, and I installed all Python and everything, but nothing worked directly. We arrived to the point where they asked me to get to the TeamViewer, and was totally fine for me. I'm okay if they have to do something on my PC. So what you have to do is to install TeamViewer, give them a password that is temporary, so you can change it every time. So don't worry, they're not going to be able to get on your computer every time, and then they just use your computer. Now, the situation, there were two things that were concerning me in that moment. One is the fact that you are receiving support from China right now. So the timing is very, very different if you live in the United States, because for me, we were starting to connect around 11 p.m. and sometime we were finishing around 2 a.m. and it's actually pretty late for some people, and there's something that they have to fix for sure, because for me it was fine, but for some people it's just too late, because then in the morning you have to wake up at 5, 6 or whatever, and yeah, it just doesn't work like that. So I hope that they're gonna improve these in the future, having the support also in the United States or in Europe, somewhere like this closer, to have a better timing after all. And the second thing was actually that when they were connecting, they were starting to do everything without even saying anything. Now I get to the process of giving the possibility to use my computer also with different company, like on Microsoft. They had many problems, so they had to get to the computer and fix stuff. But the thing that they do is actually every time they tell you when they are connecting, they tell you hey, okay, now I'm gonna take control, so please close all the windows that you have opened and you don't want me to see. If I do something wrong, this is the button to close it. Well, this didn't happen at all with Pimax. They just got in the PC and they started to open, closing stuff on my PC, and it was hey, what's going on? Now, I'm fine. I don't really care much because I was really interested to to understand what was the problem and try to fix the problem with my Pimax. But for some people that are concerned about privacy, well, that is something that they have to improve as well. Now, with the first session, what we did was actually reinstall everything again, went to the task manager just to close all the application, tried again, very simple thing, and nothing worked. So I asked if he wanted to like try to flash the firmware, because I didn't want to do it directly, to like try a situation where like it's like any other consumer right there that is not able, it doesn't want of course to flash the firmwares or the whole thing, because sometimes like the warranty is gone. Now it's not really clear if you have a warranty with the Pimax, but that's another story. And even flashing the firmware didn't work at all, so we were in a situation where we were stuck and wasn't working. So the guy at the support told me that he wanted to get into contact with the hardware team directly, so I had to wait because they weren't up yet, they weren't working yet, because they were getting in the office later, and it was at 2 a.m. So we had to go through another day, and of course I was receiving email at 4 a.m. and answering in the morning when they were sleeping, so it's kind of hard to keep up with the support in the way. Anyway, after 2 or 3 days, we got to the point where we had the second team viewer session, and what I did was actually to install a shell to understand and do a little troubleshooting directly on the Pimax. Now, I'm putting some slides here that are exactly what was the shell and what they were trying to see. I don't really understand anything about this, so if you instead understand what's going on, please let me know in the comment below, because what happened actually, they told me that they didn't know what was the problem, and so we had to go for a replacement. But for me, it's a kind of weird the fact that in less than 20 hours of usage, because I used it for less than 20 hours pretty much, the screen just went away and turned off. Is not really normal. So I would like to know what was the problem, because like even if it was an hardware problem, how did it happen? I hope they're gonna tell me then later, because I'm really interested in that, because it's something that is really important to know, like how did this thing happen, to prevent it in the future in case. Now some people are thinking that it's last update, that is because like you can adjust the brightness and put it to bright, maybe the AC adapter wasn't powerful enough or got too much energy and the screen wasn't able to handle it. Now seems like they're changing also the screens right now for the dots that you had during the red. There were some dots over there that were very distracting, so seems they're changing them too. Like all this process brought up a lot of questions for me. So first of all, it's like I'm kind of happy that everything went well in the way that I got the replacement, but why did I have to do it in the first place after 20 hours? Did I receive the bad badge? Are other people there with a bad badge and they don't know yet? If these things go longer, since when we're gonna have the same support? Like, is this replacement thing for a year, for 2 years? How long are we gonna expect to have that without problem? There are a lot of people, like there are 2 or 3 people in the comment of the first video having my same problem. I'm seeing also other people in the forum having cracked Pimax directly, and that's becoming like an issue. So like, are they having the same manufacturing for every headset, or are they still changing? Like, are we gonna have every person a different headset? Well, that is gonna be difficult also, because if they change the screens, probably when you're gonna receive a new firmware, well, that is not gonna work with the new screens, the old screens. Like, they're creating probably a lot of problem. Like, what is the final version? Because everyone is receiving stuff with different pieces. Like, my strap is different from the one that other people receive. Like, which one is the right one? Which one is the last one? Which one is the one that you are gonna receive? So there are a lot of questions that are coming out with all this process. Now, I'm still waiting for my unit, and after pretty much 1 week and a half, 2 weeks, but there are also CES in the middle for them, so I cannot understand it. But well, this is the problem, like you are without the unit for a little while. Now, other people are asking you to send it, and then when they're receiving, they send it back, so it's good for this, but is this gonna continue even if you're not a backer? We don't really know. Now, Pimax is moving to having like Pimax in the US as well, so it's something good, because so far for my experience it was good for communication, but there are little things that they could be better. And also having like somebody that works in the same time in the US, well, that would be very useful, because it's really hard to keep up with like these late hours for some people, and it's not just for everybody. If you can't connect, like are you gonna receive a new unit, are you gonna receive like something, we don't really know. Anyway, this was my experience directly. I hope that I didn't go too long, but I want to tell you like everything I think directly of this. And as always, that was all. You're gonna see all this new video where the new Pimax arrived, and we're gonna see if this was actually a bad batch, if the distortion was a thing about my unit, or is something that is real and is present in all the units out there. Anyway guys, review coming as soon as possible as always. And as always, if you like the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more about VR and tech and all the videos about the Pimax. And thanks for watching. Thanks for all the feedback below. And I see you guys in the next video. Ciao.